All right, we're gonna try this again.
We are going to try this again. Are you ready? Are you ready to have some fun? Because that is what we are going to do. So, all right, one of the main reasons, I'm so excited to be here with you guys tonight, today, this morning, wherever you are in the world. So I am currently on the East Coast. I wanted to do this video because with the pandemic, with eating in, ordering in, eating out, something that my aunt actually brought to my attention, she sat there and just said, we were at breakfast the other day and she was talking to my mom and she said, one of the things that I learned, Melissa, from you that has been invaluable is how to order from the menu and stay on track with my health goals, my weight loss goals, and actually know what I'm putting into my body so I still feel good after I eat out. So this is something that I always hear. And she said that to me and I was kind of like, oh, and she started speaking into things that I just naturally do. So, when you master something, when you're an expert in something, you forget about what it was like before you got really good at it, right? And so this is something that I teach in my programs. This is something that I teach my clients, and I thought now more than ever this would be invaluable for you. So I really wanted to share this knowledge with you. So if you're ordering out, if you're ordering in, if you're eating out and you're sitting there and you know that afterwards you feel bloated, you don't always feel good, you're frustrated because you ended up eating off your diet and you feel like you kind of lost a day instead of getting closer to your goal, you're further away, these tips are going to support you. So stay tuned. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and invite your friends. Leave comments below. Let me know any questions that you have. I am here to support you, and any questions that you have, I'll make sure to do a video. That's why I'm here. It's to support you, and it's so that you can truly thrive in life in a body that you love. And now is the time to thrive and to clear out all the things that aren't working. So a few tips that will work in any restaurant, and then I'll go through some specific different types of cuisines so you can really identify and get clear. A few tricks, one that I always say is, guys, forgo the bread basket. Forgo the bread basket. It's like when I lived in Italy and, there's this misconception that Italian food is super heavy and it's always pastas and they all eat so much bread. When you go to Italy and you sit down, they don't want to fill up on the bread. They want to wait for the meal. They want to enjoy the meal. They want to enjoy the process. Okay? So forgo the bread basket. Here are a few tools and tips. Okay? 1, drink water. Drink water before, during, and after your meal. Make sure not only does it help to detoxify and it aids in your digestion, but it also helps you to feel full and really be able to gauge your hunger levels. Okay? So another thing that I do with liquids and other things I wait to have, if I'm ordering wine, I like to enjoy my food. I like to enjoy my wine or a drink. I don't really want to mix and have a cocktail while I'm having my food. Now, sometimes obviously wine can bring out flavors in food, and so can other spirits and things of that nature. But that is something that I've really trained myself to do, that I can actually separate and enjoy. So at the end of a meal, I'm still, I'm having that glass of wine, or I'm sipping whatever I'm having to drink if I'm choosing to have a cocktail that night. And I'm really allowing for the meal time to be something where I'm very present to the taste that I'm having, very present to the experience, but very present to the meal itself. Okay, so we're going to talk about what to order off the menu, and I also just want to give you some tips for eating out. So forgo the bread basket. Instead, a few tips are: go for a clear soup, a broth-based soup. We don't want to go for cream-based soups. That is not doing you any favors. We want to go for clear broth-based soup. Ask for a salad to start, and really, again, like I said, put your focus on the meal so that that's where your calories are going. That's where your appetite is going. Remember, your stomach is the size of a fist. We don't need a lot of food to be full. And what I teach is food is fuel. That does not mean I'm Italian, okay? That does not mean that I don't enjoy my food. I love my food. I love my food so much. And why I just started talking with some sort of accent, I'm not really sure. It's because I get excited about food. But I share this with you because I enjoy my food, but I'm slow and I'm intentional with my food and I'm slow with my eating. And I used to be the first one done and now I'm the last one done. And I like to take my time and I like to be present during my meal. I always teach my clients, instead of racing through the meal, be the last one. Be present to the people over the food. Allow yourself to engage in the experience and fill that your senses, fill your appetite, fill your heart, fill that time with connection. It is amazing how full we feel when we're filled up. That's a mouthful. How full we feel when we're filled up. So that's one, okay? So we want to forego the bread basket. Order, if you're really just like, oh my God, I'm ferocious, drink water before you go. Drink water when you get there. Order a cocktail, sip on that as well if you are a drinker of sorts and enjoy that. And like I said, get a salad. Now here's the thing with salads. Get a salad to start, or other appetizers that are low in calories. So here's the other thing. When we're really hungry, we seem to think that our stomach is giant, as I shared, size of a fist. And it can expand the width of eight baseballs. So often when we're really hungry, I don't know about you, but I'm like, I can eat all the things. And then like I sit there with all the things in front of me and I'm like, okay, I'm full. So instead of overdoing it, which so many do, you want to go out to eat and be hungry. You don't want to not be hungry, right? We don't just want to eat just for the sake of eating because it's dinner time. And that's where we really want to stay connected and go, okay, I'm going out to eat tonight, so I want to actually really enjoy my meal and I want to be hungry for my meal. Now, sometimes we get carried away and we're like, I'm so hungry, I need an appetizer and I need an entree and then I'd love to split this. And then, so just slow your roll, okay? Drink water, breathe, get clear on what you want to order. Now, here is the thing with ordering. A few things for appetizers, like I said, salads. Always do dressing on the side. Pay attention to your salad of choice. Mistakes that people make. A salad can easily become an unhealthy option very, very quickly. Having any sort of dressing in the salad, especially, they use a larger amount than you would if you were applying it yourself. So always ask for it on the side. Pay attention to the salad that you're selecting. If the salad that you're selecting has cheese, avocado, craisins, nuts, seeds, right? You now have egg, you now have multiple sources of fat. And we really only need 20 to 30 grams of fat, upwards at the most of really 50 per day, depending on your size, height, there's a lot that goes into it. So I share this with you because a salad is meant to be something, if you're looking and you're just like, I need a light appetizer, put your focus on where you want it to go. If you've really been looking forward to an entree, then put your energy and attention there and just start off and say, I'm gonna forgo an appetizer, I'm gonna wait on the bread basket, I'm just gonna order my entree. If you know that who you're eating with is going to elongate the meal, then start off with something small. Do shrimp cocktail, any sort of grilled chicken, something, skewers or kebabs. Any sort of salad that can be shared. And again, always ask for dressings on the side. Stay away from creamy, stay away from sauces. Always ask for all sauces on the side. Pay attention, all teriyakis, things of that nature are filled with sugar. It's essentially all sugar, right? So we'll get into different cuisines, but I really want you guys to recognize this. So to recap, 1, stay away from the bread basket. Wait and put your energy and attention into the meal. 2, drink water. 3, look for salads. Order with dressing on the side. And if there's multiple things, go for a salad that only has a handful of ingredients instead of one that has 5 to 10 different things. And you're sitting there and you're like, okay, I'm having, bacon, blue cheese, avocado, and all of this, because again, you really want your appetite to go towards what you're really wanting. Now, if the salad is what you're really wanting, great, by all means, go for it, but still ask for the dressing on the side. And always, and something that I teach is being a high maintenance orderer. Be high maintenance, ask for things how you want them. You're gonna be the one, people might sit there and be like, oh my gosh, I always have people preface and go, I'm the easy one, or it's their own discomfort. And I'm just like, okay, you'll be uncomfortable, but also I'm gonna leave this table feeling good in my body, feeling light, feeling energized, and being very satisfied getting exactly what I want. And every time I order, everyone goes, oh my God, everyone always has food envy around me. They're complaining about the fact that they ate too much, that they don't feel good, that they're bloated, that they're this, that they're that, and I'm leaving feeling great. So really, really become and embody the high maintenance order, okay? Another thing that I like to do that's a great tactic is look at the menus beforehand. Ask for the restaurant that you're gonna go to, look at the menu beforehand so you can already be prepared and be educated on what it is that you wanna order. Don't be afraid to ask for things to be prepared the way you want them. One of the things I taught my aunt that she brought up the other day is I said, always ask, how is that meat prepared? It is fascinating to me. I don't really eat a lot of meat. In fact, I don't really eat meat. And more for ethical than anything else. I try to here and there, but I stayed away from it for about a decade, and then it was kind of hard to go back. And I share this because I very much eat a lot of seafood, and it always amazes me, whether it's meat or seafood, that if there is a cut of protein, that's a really good quality cut, it is filled with flavor. It has enough flavor. It does not need all of these sauces and cheeses and encrusted in this and encrusted in that or deep fried. And if it does, then it's not a good quality in so many spaces. Or it's just a lot of added calories that you really don't need because it's quite flavorful, especially fish like salmon, Chilean sea bass. These all have, they're so flavorful. A really good steak does not need, a really good filet and things of that nature. So always ask how it's prepared. You'd be amazed how many restaurants do not actually put down everything. Like, I'll order a dish and I'm like, it never said that it had masala sauce or that there was mushrooms or that there was fried this or fried that or stir-fried vegetables. Like, it just says with vegetables. So always ask how things are prepared, especially if you are diabetic, if you have any heart conditions, cholesterol, whatever it is, and nowadays or any allergies. Always ask, is there dairy in that? One of the things I will tell you in high-end steak restaurants and restaurants of that nature, if you're a vegetarian or vegan, let them know. Because I've gone and generally the vegetables taste so good because they're cooked in pork belly fat. So they're literally cooked in pork belly fat. That is why they taste so good. This is why so many people go, I hate Brussels sprouts, but for some reason when I eat them out, I love them. You love them because they're cooked in pork belly fat, right? And also another thing that often meats and fish are cooked in restaurants, they can be in a variety of ways. And this is where if you really want to know about hidden sugars, you can check out my Wholeness podcast where I speak about hidden sugars and also where I go more in depth on this as well. In that episode, I don't know the number of it. And I also have this in other videos here on my YouTube channel. So definitely subscribe because there's a ton on weight loss and healthy habits and all the things. But I will say that they actually, many restaurants will have a brush with some butter and sugar, melted butter and sugar together, and they will they will paint the fish and the protein meat before they cook it. However they are cooking it, whether it's broiled, sauteed, filleted, what have you. And that also gives it an extra moistness and rich flavor. And so I don't mean to ruin all these things for you, but if you're really watching your sugar, you're watching your fat, you need to lose weight for health purposes, you really want to know about these things. It's really, really important. So, okay, other things. So research the menu beforehand, make your selections beforehand, be knowledgeable about that. Be a high maintenance order. Don't be afraid to ask for things the way you want them. Hi, that fish, how is it cooked? Another thing that's amazing is, oh, that's pecan uncrusted. It's like, okay, the halibut's pecan uncrusted. Just say, okay, great. Could I get that grilled? You will find that most restaurants have no problems doing this. And what you really want to choose are broiled or grilled. Broiled or grilled are your best options. You don't want anything encrusted. You don't want anything fried, okay? Pan roasted is another fine thing as well. And always ask, how are the vegetables prepared? Again, if you have a dairy intolerance, let them know that you can't have anything in butter, right? And they'll do, olive oil or whatever oil that they're using, hopefully olive oil over vegetable in the back, in that background. Okay, so now other things. When we're looking at restaurants and different things, like I shared earlier, there's this big misconception. People always say this to me, like, I don't want to eat Italian. I'm really trying to watch my weight. I don't want Italian. It's just so heavy. I'm like, it's only heavy when you make it heavy. When you really eat in Italy, it's more of a Mediterranean style diet. I'm not saying they don't have pasta, but their portions are small portions, right? It's literally, for forkfuls, and it comes out with the fork in the middle. It is not what we get now. So another thing that I always like to do is, if you're ordering an entree, and the restaurant does those, basically family portion entrees, ask for half of it to come out, to already have it set aside to go in a to-go container, and that you will get it with a check at the end. That way you only eat, because if you're like me, I eat what's in front of me, or I definitely used to. I should say growing up, it was like clean your plate. And I ate as much as my brothers, who were like all Americans. One brother was like all American soccer player. They both basically were. They're like running around the field and nonstop. And I'm like, I'll eat as much as you. I'm like 5'4". Yeah, tiny. So I say this because if you're a member of the Clean Plates Club, having extra food in front of you is just going to be a taunting thing for you. So even if you're full halfway through and you're really practicing honoring your hunger, which is what I teach, and staying connected to that, then just having a plate in front of you while other people are eating is going to be, you're going to want to still eat it, is my point. So instead, just do yourself a favor and just go, you know what, I'm going to get this entree, but I'd actually just love half. And if you could put half in a box to go, you've got your lunch for tomorrow or tomorrow's dinner. So hello, talk about easy. That's a great thing to do. Another thing to do that I love is look at the appetizers. Often sometimes on menus find the appetizers, there's more appetizers that I want than entrees. And so sometimes I'm like, oh, I'd love to have this crab cake. And then I love seafood, by the way. I'd love to have, you haven't noticed, I've mentioned everything seafood. Like I'd love to have this salad, and then I'd really love to have these mini crab cakes, or like this, whatever. I'll actually just order an entree or an appetizer as my entree. And then I'll do an appetizer to start the meal, or split something with somebody and then do an appetizer as my entree if I'm not very hungry, right? So that's another thing where many people just go out and they're like, oh, well, I just got an entree because everybody was ordering one and I wasn't very hungry, but then I ended up eating the whole thing and I'm so frustrated with myself because I wasn't very hungry. Just order an appetizer. Do yourself a favor, order an appetizer. Now, a few cuisines. So Italian very much does not need to be this pasta heavy laden thing. So if you know that you love pasta and they make homemade pasta, which is like, honestly, it's so delicious, then split it or do what I just said and just take your favorite dish and just go, would anybody want to split this with me? And then make sure that there's protein involved. So get some sort of vegetable, get some sort of protein, get it on the side. Like I said, start with the salad. When you're working your way around a plate, you really want to start by eating your vegetable and then your protein, and save your starch last, okay? When we're really looking at a plate, your protein for a female essentially should be 4 ounces. That's the size of your palm. 6 is to your first knuckle, 8 is to your second set of knuckles, 10 is top of your middle finger, that length, right? So when you're really going, well, what should my portion be? You should know this is 4 ounces. That's all you need. We generally end up getting pieces that are this big of protein. So just split it, push it to the side and go, this is my portion, okay? Or ask for half to come out. Another thing is on your plate, your vegetables should really be 2 hands cupped. If you're ever just like needing measuring cups just right there to have an idea, it should be 2 hands cupped. That should be your salad, your greens, your vegetables, your cauliflower, your broccoli, or whatever. Your carbs should be 1 hand cupped. That is a half a cup essentially. So your brown rice, your your pasta, your other thing, that's really the portion that you should have. So just knowing that for yourself, again, stomach size of a fist, you can start to gauge and make healthier choices. Now, other things that you want to do when you're ordering out, be a high maintenance order, drink water, slow your roll, be the last person to finish their meal. Put your fork down between bites, engage in conversation. Make it about the people, not about the food, okay? And be present to what you experience. Taste the flavors. Allow yourself to eat slowly. Enjoy every bite. Again, be very present to it. Okay, other things that you want to know. Generally, most restaurants will change things for you unless you're in a very high-end restaurant. French restaurants, generally, chefs get very tied to the way things are, and they often will not change things. And it's more decadent and rich foods, very high in, there's a lot of butter, a lot of cream, a lot of cheese, a lot of dairy. So if you struggle with dairy, French is not going to be your best option. Same thing, like you just want to know things like that. And generally that French restaurants are not very easy for substitutions. Now, let's really talk about this. Breakfast options. Your best option is eggs. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Eggs. Eggs are so good for you. Eggs. Protein in the morning, you want to have like 20 grams of protein in the morning. That helps you to stave off cravings. It helps with weight maintenance. It helps you to feel fuller longer and helps you to focus. It is brain focus, right? So you really want to start off your day with protein versus French toast, pancakes, unless they're protein pancakes. And I'm just saying, if you're going to have something of that nature, have protein and split that with somebody else. Say like, can we have an appetizer of one pancake at breakfast? We're going to split it and then get yourself some eggs. If you don't like eggs, then a protein shake, again, something with at least 20 grams of protein. Greek yogurt has 20 grams of protein. Go for plain, sweeten it yourself. So again, but when you're ordering out, let's just go for this. Really always ask for things. I'd like all sauces on the side. All sauces on the side, all dressings on the side. Again, if your salad has a bunch of different things with it, ask for the nuts on the side. Ask for the cheese on the side and add on what you want, right? We're really only looking to do about a tablespoon, not a quarter and a half a cup that they normally put on, okay? You don't want your salad to be what takes up your caloric intake for the day because it has 5 sources of fat, two different, croutons or wontons or other things, right? Like we really want to pay attention and look at what we're putting into our bodies. Okay, now, next up, and what I want to say is look at Thai food, okay? Thai food, Chinese food, other things. When we're looking at Thai food, pad Thai is the most highly caloric dish that you can order. The peanut sauce, all those little delicious sauces, it's all sugar. So again, I just want to make you aware of that. It's always better to ask for the steamed shrimp and broccoli or chicken or other things of that nature. Again, ask for your sauces on the side. Go for clear sauces versus colored sauces. It's the same thing with alcohol. Go for clear spirits versus colored spirits. You're cutting your sugar by a lot. The only exception would be red wine. Red wine is better for you than white wine. Okay, now, when we're going into anything au gratin, we want to stay away from. Anything fried, we want to stay away from. Anything pan fried is not necessarily your friend. Other things that I want to say, we want to stay away from vegetables. We want to, again, we don't necessarily want stir fried. We want to go for just sauteed or dry roasted. Okay, those are really your best options. And like I said, do not hesitate to be a high maintenance orderer. Do not hesitate to ask for things the way you want them. You can make your own dishes. I do it all the time. I did it the other day at a restaurant and my food looked so good that they asked if we could add my concoction to their menu. It was so delicious. And I had people in surrounding tables asking what I ordered. to the point where they actually said they were going to put it on the menu. And I was like, it's so good, and I'm going to come back all the time for it. So again, just notice that. Just another tip, yogurt, sweeten it yourself, put your own fruit in it, stay away from these things that have mini crisps and cookies and honey and jams and jellies and all the things at the base of your yogurt. You just took something that's really good for you and you made it not so good, okay? And you just wanna notice that with everything. Sauces are the worst because you think you're doing right by your body, and the amount and how much is used is what causes so many to gain weight when they're like, I'm really trying and I don't understand where I went wrong. And especially right now during the pandemic and everything else, when ordering out, and especially for parents that are home and homeschooling and their kids, and now you're instead of just making one meal a night and packing lunches, it's like you're doing it 3 times a day and snacks and multiple. I know that it's easier to just order in, and there are other things. So again, even when you're getting pizza and things of that nature, go for thin crust. Ideally, if you can, gluten-free, guys, does not always mean it's better for you. It doesn't mean it's less in calories. Unless you have a gluten intolerance, I'm not like, oh my God, be all things gluten-free, unless you have a reaction, because sometimes it actually is higher in fat and higher in calories. So just start looking at your numbers and pay attention to what you're putting into your body. Really, really pay attention. And the other one that you'll see that happens so often is drinks. Pay attention to your sugary concoctions, pay attention to your sugary coffee drinks, and other things of that nature. I did a whole video on that in here, so definitely check it out. But that is my 1-2. So stay away from your creams, your sauces, ask for things on the side, and ask how things are prepared, and don't be afraid to ask for things the way that you want them and to take care of yourself. You have to advocate for your health all the time. And we know that sugar, your body can only process 46 grams of sugar a day. So anything else, aside from what you're expending in terms of energy, so anything else is being stored as fat on your body. So if you're struggling with your health in any way, if you're struggling with your weight, then you want to pay attention to these things and really, really notice. And the other hidden one that I will really say is with those coffee drinks, when you are going out and you are ordering different beverages, just recognize that the barista version of your coconut milk and your almond milk and your whatever milk is laden with with about 3 times the amount to 4 times the amount of sugar, calories, and fat than the almond milk that you make at home. So if you're getting a chai latte, a matcha latte, an almond milk latte, and this and that, just know that. So when you're ordering out and you're thinking like, oh, but I just have my coffee drink and it's not bad, I don't put any added sugar in it, I just ask for, the vanilla nut flavored coffee, they're adding syrups to it and it's already brewed with added sugar. And then if you're getting it with any milks of any kind, they are all flavored and they are filled with sugar. So these are all little sneaky ways that we end up putting weight on instead of taking it off, and really getting frustrated at the lack of results. And that's what my intention here today is, that you stay healthy, that you thrive in life in a body that you love. So if you have any questions about ordering out, what to get, all the things, definitely let me know in the comments below. Even when you're ordering pizza, guys, you can ask for half the cheese, you can ask for half the sauce, you can ask for the thin crust, and always add protein to everything to help you feel fuller longer, to help with weight maintenance, to help build lean muscle when you have lean protein. Sources like shrimp, chicken, whey protein, just plant-based protein, egg whites, beans, things of that nature, nuts, seeds. Those are different sources of lean protein, and they really, really help to build lean muscle, and again, for weight maintenance, and to help you feel fuller longer. So you want to make sure to have those present in your meals. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know in the comments below if this helped you, especially if it did. It means the world to me if you share it with those that it can support in thriving in life in a body that they love. And if you like this, please let me know, and let me know any other videos that you'd like me to make, because I am here to support you always. Comment, subscribe, like, share, do all the things. It means so much to me. And if you have any questions, again, just message me and I am here in full support. Have a beautiful evening and I'll see you in the next video. Much love.